regardless of how much we want it to be so, business and life are not linear. As much as we would love them to be consistent and for things to remain the same when they are good or whatnot, that's just not the reality of the world. In my business, there have been months of incredible growth, very successful months filled with lots of opportunities, like increases in revenues, and just things have been really good. But I've also have months that have followed where the opportunities went away, or I took a hit in revenue, or like lost a client or something. It's not linear. It is very up and down. And the hope and what we should be aspiring or reaching for is an increase in the sum or the average, right? We're going to have good months, we're going to have bad months, but the idea or the hope and the effort is to have increased the sum of the whole. This past week has been one of those weeks for me where things feel like they're not going as they should or as hoped. And I don't mean this in a negative way or a bad way, like things are fine. But I haven't been very inspired. I haven't been very motivated. I have really struggled to sit down at my desk and like put in work. And granted, it was my birthday this past week, and so we were out doing things and whatever. I've just really struggled on days like today, literally like right now as I'm filming this, to like sit down and be able to just focus and work and be inspired and be creative. And being that my business is what it is, it requires creativity and some sort of, inspiration and motivation, obviously, as any endeavor does. I believe that creativity is not just in formats like this. Creativity can be applied to literally anything, but I've been struggling with it. And I have to remind myself, and the reason why I'm filming this now, rather than tomorrow when I usually film this, is because I felt like this is a great moment to capitalize on the situation that I am in and share my experience, my insight with you for when you are in situations like this, because it is inevitable. Like, no one has a perfectly consistently perfect life every day, every month, every week. We all fall into these ruts or, these times of descent, if you will, before we, inevitably climb the mountain again and go back up. And what I have learned for me personally to get out of these moments and these situations and these times of like lack of inspiration or motivation or whatever you want to call it, is to just do something. Do what is easiest for you to do. Because typically the reason why we feel the way that we do, and the reason why I'm feeling like this, is because I haven't been doing something. I have been either ignoring tasks or not putting myself in situations that I need to be putting myself in, or just simply like ignoring what I know I need to do. And all that really does is creates stress and removes this motivation, this inspiration, this creativity. And then typically what happens is, in order to get back into a groove and get back into the swing of things, you're forced to be creative, which is hard to do if you haven't been creative. And so what I've learned is to get out of that situation is to do the most frictionless task first, or at least do something that is easy to you that you don't have to think about. So you are watching me do this right now as I'm recording this video. YouTube videos and speaking to a camera like this in a unscripted, candid format is something that is comfortable for me. It's something that I know I can pretty consistently do on a topic. Whether it's good or bad, I can ramble for a long time about something. And so I'm using this as an example for you to do something that will get you out of that rut. Why it gets me out of this rut, why it will get you out of this rut, I don't know. And for you, it doesn't literally need to mean talking to a camera and recording a YouTube video. It just needs to be something that you can do and can't make an excuse not to do, because it's so easy, because it's so frictionless, because you just simply enjoy it. It can be completely unrelated to the thing. It can be completely unrelated to your business. It could mean going for a workout. It could mean going for a walk. It could mean just going out, walking around, taking pictures. the key in the lesson and the takeaway is simply action. What I'm trying to get at is action. Action relieves all stress, anxiety, problems, hesitation, doubt. Action is the number one cure for everything that you are dealing with. It shows you what you need to do. It shows you the path. If you, for example, say you want to start like a software company and you have no idea where to start, the thing that's going to kill you is never looking and never starting, which sounds like paradoxical, I suppose, but by just doing something, even if it's the wrong thing, it will lead you in a direction that is closer to the right thing. You can't find the path if you never even try to step onto it. Everyone is blind in the beginning. And I know I'm kind of going off a little bit on a tangent here, but you don't know what you need to do until you do the thing. Like, you won't know how to get out of a creative rut or out of a business rut or out of a decline in your motivation until you actually just try to do something, which again is like the hardest thing in the world. But just by proving to yourself that you can do one thing, it becomes 100 times easier that you can do other things. When I woke up today, I had a long list of things that I wanted to do. I needed to film some short form content. I had some edits to work on, some emails to send. I had a laundry list of things to do simply because the last few days I've just been out and about, if you will. And no matter how much I knew I needed to do them, when I sat down on my computer, I struggled to do them. The creative things make sense because, it requires creativity for me to be creative. But even the things that don't feel like they require any sort of creativity or inspiration, I struggled to do. But by not doing those and by continuously making an excuse not to do them and pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, we might think that it's better because we're giving ourselves a break or something. But in reality, what we're really doing is making it worse, because then we push them off, we don't do them. And by not doing them, we don't take action, which stops us from rekindling that inspiration or that creativity or that motivation. And then it's a double-edged sword, because then we're also beginning to feel bad because we know that we need to be doing the thing and we're not doing the thing. It's a double-edged sword when you kind of get into ruts like this and do not try to get out or actively try to get out of it, because it takes a toll on our actual output and our production as a business owner or creative, and also on our mental health or just our mental clarity, because we begin to start doubting ourselves and putting ourselves down for not doing the thing. So in the simplest terms, if I could summarize everything I've been going on about, you need to do the thing to get out of the way you feel. Like, it doesn't matter what the thing is, you just need to do something. Action is the greatest remedy for any sort of ailment that you're going through in your life, whether it's a business downturn, a creative rut, your health, fitness, whatever it may be. Look at what you're doing, ask yourself if you're actually doing the right thing, and begin doing things that will make you feel better. Even if it's as simple as going for a walk. Just take action. Just do something. Remove yourself from the state that you are in to get into a new state. I just think that far too often we overthink what it takes for us to get out of ruts. We try morning routines. We try new fitness habits. We do all of these crazy things that are so over the top, and not that they're bad, because they're not. At their core, they're good, but I really think that it's just an avoidance, or at the very least, an excuse for us to fail. If you are in a rut, just do something. Just do anything. Do something new. If your business is stagnant, what is something different you can do? If you're not feeling creative, what is something you can read? What is something you can watch? What is something you can experience? And typically, those things, we're actually avoiding them. And once we acknowledge that we're avoiding them, or once we acknowledge that they are there for us to take action on, and we do them, we will feel better. Again, this video is a perfect example. I was avoiding filming some content because I just wasn't feeling creative or inspired. But as I'm doing this now, and as I'm just taking action on something that is easy for me to do, that I need to do, you begin to feel better. Like I begin to feel more creative as I'm talking, as I'm making the video. I begin to feel more motivated to do more once I begin doing the thing. The decision to do the thing is oftentimes harder than actually doing the thing. Deciding to go for a run is a lot harder sometimes, if you're maybe not totally new to running, than actually running. Like for me, for example, to decide to like sign up for a half marathon and make that commitment and share to the world that I was going to do that was much harder than the actual training, simply because I had a responsibility. And so deciding to just do the thing, deciding to film the video, to implement the new thing into your business, just by doing that alone, it will make everything else seem so much easier. So if you're in a rut, if you're in a downhill, if you're in a valley, do something. It doesn't matter what it is. Do something different than what you're currently doing, and that will propel you out of where you need to be and at least show you where you need to go and how you can begin to get there. Yeah, that's it for this week's video. I know this one was another little bit of a ramble, but I think it's really important to understand when you are in a situation, the worst, where you're not feeling motivated or inspired or creative, the worst thing you can do is slow down. You shouldn't take your foot off the gas. It's okay to have a balance of rest and whatnot, but if you're feeling bad or negative, the worst thing that you can do is do nothing, because that will just further deepen that state. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, comment, like, and subscribe. Also, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty dope. High school me is stoked right now. So thank you for 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will see you next week. As always, talk soon.